Hiya, Barbie.
Hi, Ken.
You want to go for a ride?
Sure, Ken.
Jump in.
I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world. Life in plastic, it's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere. Imagination, life is your creation.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world. Life in plastic, it's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere. Imagination, life is your creation. I'm a blonde bimbo girl in a fantasy world. Dress me up, make it tight, I'm your dolly.
You're my doll, rock and roll. Feel the glamour and pink. Kiss me here, touch me there, hanky panky.
You can touch, you can play. If you say, I'm always yours. I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world. Life in plastic, it's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere. Imagination, life is your creation.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Yeah.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party. Come on, Barbie, let's go party. Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Make me walk, make me talk, do whatever you please. I can act like a star, I can beg on my knees.
Come jump in, bimbo friend, let us do it again. Hit the town, fool around, let's go party.
You can touch, you can play. If you say, I'm always yours. You can touch, you can play. If you say, I'm always yours.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Yeah.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party. Come on, Barbie, let's go party. Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world. Life in plastic, it's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere. Imagination, life is your creation. I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world. Life in plastic, it's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere. Imagination, life is your creation.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Yeah.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party. Come on, Barbie, let's go party. Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Oh, I'm having so much fun.
Well, Barbie, we're just getting started.
Oh, I love you, Ken.
Hi, Barbie. Hi, Ken. Hi, everybody. If you hadn't guessed, today this is the soundtrack revisited, and we are going to be talking about Barbie the movie, of course. I am so excited to talk about this film. I deeply apologize. You can probably definitely hear that I'm sick right now, but hey, I'm still here, and I'm going to talk about a very fun soundtrack. Just to start from scratch, I am Roxy, and you're listening to the Soundtrack Revisited, a show where every week we talk about the soundtrack of a movie, listen to my favorite tracks or the most memorable tracks in the film, and chat a little bit about the movie. And this week we're talking about Barbie, directed by Greta Gerwig, released in 2023 in July. I was still in France because, yes, fun fact, I am from Paris, France. I was still in France when this came out in July 2023, and in France it came out on July 19th, which, second fun fact, is my birthday. So Barbie came out on my 20th birthday in 2023, directed by Greta Gerwig, one of my favorite directors. Absolutely love that woman. Love her as an actress as well. The music on this one is supervised by George Drakoulias. So music supervisor in a film is the person who isn't going to compose the music or anything like that, but is going to kind of oversee everything that has to do with music in the film. as it is in the title, supervise the music. With a film like Barbie, it's specifically going to be about obtaining the rights. They're kind of like the dialogue or the intermediary between the creative side and the more businessy, legal side of things that is often brought up when talking about music and music rights and music copyright for film. So yeah, George Drakoulias is the music supervisor for Barbie, and he's the one who contacted one of the main figureheads of the music in Barbie, who is Mark Ronson. If you are a little bit into music, that name probably rings a bell to you. Mark Ronson is a pretty big producer. He started out as a DJ, but he's currently a pretty prominent producer in pop, American, British pop. He's British, what is he? I don't remember. Anyways, he's pretty cool. One of his most famous collaborations is with the one and only Amy Winehouse. But yeah, Mark Ronson, accompanied by Kevin Weaver and Brandon Davis, are the soundtrack producers for the film we're talking about today, which is Barbie. And the soundtrack of Barbie is kind of described as a mixtape. I'll describe it as a mixtape because it is a collection of titles by different artists, titles that were written specifically for Barbie, or that are covers of pre-existing songs by current artists. So you've got people like famously Billie Eilish, Dua Lipa, Lizzo, PinkPantheress, Tame Impala, Khalid, Nicki Minaj, Ice Spice, what else? Charli XCX, Gail, a lot of people, a lot of great people. Ryan Gosling also famously sings a song in this film. For today, as usual, I had to only take a few picks because we only have so much time to talk about the soundtrack of Barbie. And I chose my favorite tracks because I love this soundtrack album and I love specifically the tracks that we're going to be playing today. Yeah, Barbie, I was really, really, really excited when I heard that there was going to be a Barbie movie. I was definitely a Barbie kid. Only had like maybe 4 or 5, and of course I had one Ken who was, fighting for the attention of all the Barbies, which clearly was an accurate depiction of what was to come in the film. So I was very excited because also I love Greta Gerwig and I love Noah Baumbach, who co-wrote this film with her. So yeah, I was very, very excited. We'll talk more about my thoughts on the film when we go through the music. I want to start us off with Dua Lipa's song on the soundtrack, which is called Dance the Night. And I will be right back to talk a little more about it as soon as it's over.
Under my eyes, turn the rhythm up, don't you wanna just come along for the ride? Oh, my outfit's all tight, you can see my heartbeat tonight. I can take the heat, baby, best believe that's the moment I shine. Cause every romance shakes and it bends, don't give a damn. flowing, that diamonds on my face. I still keep the party going, not one hair out of place. Yes, I can. When the tears are flowing, that diamonds on my face. Yes, I can. I still keep the party going, not one hair out of place. Watch me dance, dance the night away. My heart could be burning, but you won't see it on my face. Watch me dance, dance the night away. I'll still keep the party running, not one hair out of place. When my heart breaks, when my world shakes, I don't play safe. Don't you know about me? I could dance, I could dance, I could dance, dance the night.
That was Dance the Night by Dua Lipa for the Barbie soundtrack. The origins of this track are that Greta Gerwig knew that Mark Ronson was working on the music, obviously, and texted him and was like, hey, I need a song for these rehearsals that we're having for the film. There's this big dance scene, and I need music for the dancers to dance to. I want something like really 80s, kind of like workout music. I think she's on record of calling it like Peloton pop. So Mark Ronson was like, okay, sure thing. So he made this like instrumental track without Dua Lipa for the moment. It was just like, instrumental, just music. And that was used in the rehearsals with the dancers to choreograph this big dance scene that happens at the very beginning of the Barbie movie, where Barbie invites all her friends to her apartment, and they have to her Barbie dream house, and they have this amazing dance party during which Barbie has some form of existential crisis. But this great song, Dance the Night by Dua Lipa, is the track that accompanies this big party scene. And I think it's just perfect that they eventually got Dua Lipa on to sing for the final product that was in the movie, because to me, Dua Lipa is the absolute embodiment of dance music, 80s, dynamic, fun, exciting. I just love Dua Lipa, and her album Future Nostalgia, which I believe came out in 2020, was one of the things that kept me going through the multiple quarantines. Sorry to bring up past wounds, the multiple quarantines and lockdowns of COVID. I was blasting Future Nostalgia when I was just stuck in a tiny little apartment, and it was great. It helped me be like, you know what? Everything sucks right now, but music is forever, and music can always get me out of a rut, and especially out of a mental rut. And Dua Lipa really did that for me with Future Nostalgia. So I think it's great and super appropriate that Mark Ronson, or whoever was the decision maker in that, but it was probably Mark Ronson, decided to ask Dua Lipa to sing on this Dance the Night track for the Barbie movie. It's just perfect. And isn't Dua Lipa kind of a Barbie? She's so beautiful. She's tall. She's gorgeous. She has an amazing, sultry voice. I love her. The next song I want to play for you is by another artist that I adore, and that anyone who appreciates good electronic, pop, synthy goodness probably loves. And this band is called Tame Impala. Okay, here's the thing. Everybody says that Tame Impala is just one guy, Kevin Parker, Australian guy, very genius. Is it really just one guy? I don't know. Anyways, he's super talented. His project is called Tame Impala. And he did a tiny little song for the Barbie movie called Journey to the Real World. And I will talk more about it after it plays. that was Journey to the Real World by Tame Impala for the Barbie movie. Yeah, this song plays, as it is kind of indicated in the title, it plays in this sequence where Barbie, accompanied by Ken, are doing their huge trip between Barbie Land and the real world, our world, which in this movie is like Los Angeles, Venice. I think they arrive in Venice Beach. I think this song is a great segue into one of my favorite parts of this film, which is the set deck and the production design. Oh my stars. The set deck and the production design and the costumes in this film, especially in Barbie Land, or Barbie World, I think it's Barbie Land, are just gorgeous. So intricate, so beautiful, and it's everything that a little girl would want, or a little kid would want. A little kid imagining what Barbie's world would be if it were real. I mean, it is real, and it is real in this movie. Absolutely amazing. When I was watching the movie, that first part of the film that's just all taking place in Barbie Land, I was just mesmerized. I adored it. I thought they did an amazing, amazing job. I need to shout out the people involved in this, who happen to be a group of very talented women called Sarah Greenwood, who's the production designer, Katie Spencer, who's the set decorator, and Jacqueline Durand, who is the costume designer. Jacqueline Durand, this is her second collaboration with Greta Gerwig, because she also did costumes on Little Women, for which she won an Oscar. But yeah, these three ladies made just an amazing, amazing world out of Barbie Land. And that was easily my favorite part of the film, other than the music, which I'm sharing with you today, which I also think is one of the best parts of the film. Barbie's dream house, the beach, absolutely loved the way they designed the beach. And, Dua Lipa is actually in the film. Speaking of Dua Lipa, she's like a mermaid in the film, as well as John Cena is a merman. And they just like kind of pop out of the cardboard cutout that is the sea, and they're these mermaids. Freaking hilarious. This movie's pretty funny. That's also something I really loved, is the humor in this film. That's also where I recognized, Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach's style of kind of quirky humor that was really able to flourish in the kind of over the top ridiculousness that is the Barbie world. And the set deck and the production design really just sell it to me. If it weren't for that, I don't know that it would work that well. So thank you, Sarah Greenwood, Katie Spencer, and Jacqueline Durand. Let's give it up for them. Yeah, so this song that I just played for you by Tame Impala plays during a montage where it's also really heavily, works thanks to set deck, because Barbie and Ken, their trip is shown by them kind of going through all these cardboard backgrounds of different places. So there's they're on a boat at some point, they're in a caravan camping, they're on bikes, they're on roller skates, and then it's finally when they are on roller skates that they transition into the real world. But all of those backdrops are handmade backdrops that don't look real, but it works because this is the Barbie movie. And yeah, absolutely love it. And I felt the need to shout out those amazing women who did just such a fantastic job. And obviously, as we know, something like set deck and production design and costuming is a team of probably hundreds of people, if not thousands, probably more hundreds, but hundreds and hundreds. And unfortunately, we don't have time to shout all of them out, but shout out to you guys for making Barbie Land come true. Millions of kids around the world, I know, kids and people who are no longer little kids like myself, just loved kind of living that and reliving that, that was a real pleasure. But yeah, going back to the fact that, this takes a village, I always do a lot of, not a lot, but a lot of research, before I do these episodes, to kind of read up on who did what and little tidbits and facts about the film that I can insert here and there. And I usually end up on the IMDb page for the film that we're going to talk about each week. And so I have to go through all the lists, the crew lists, and those are just endless and endless and endless. But I love that. I like taking the time, to go through them and seeing everybody's name and seeing, sorry, my voice keeps cracking, guys. I deeply apologize. Seeing all the people that make these crazy movies come to life. Something like the Barbie movie. You may not love it. You may love it. You may just like it. You may be indifferent to it. I think I fall somewhere in the middle. But it's a feat. It's a pretty big accomplishment in terms of production. All those actors, all those background actors, all those dancers, all those sets, all those lights, all those cameras, all those locations. Oh, man, it's crazy when you think about it. And all that happens in a pretty, short amount of time when you think about it. And it is a lot of money. The Barbie budget, I think, isn't too far from, I want to say 200 million, but it might be more. I don't know. I think it's around, it's less than 200 million. It might be 150 or something, but they easily made that up in the box office. Barbie is over $1 billion made worldwide, which is insane. But it's a lot of people, and all those people are what make it happen. And over here in film school, that's kind of what we dream about, and that's kind of what we do on our own scale. But it's always nice to be reminded that, yeah, there are all these people involved in these amazing movies. Anyways, all that to say, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Sorry, I totally lost my train of thought. I'm just going to go to the next song. Next song is really short because it is by, British artist PinkPantheress. Where my PinkPantheress head's at. Anyways, she's great. She famously makes a lot of short songs, short little gems. And for Barbie, she made this very sweet Irish jiggy song. You'll know what I mean when you hear it. It's called Angel. And yeah, it's insane. There's it's either fiddle or violin. I'm not sure. It sounds like fiddle in this song. And you're just like, wait, what? But the contrast works so well. This only, it's in the soundtrack, but it's very faint in the background of, a random scene. It's in the real world where I think it's when Barbie is going to meet, the daughter of that. Anyways, Barbie's confronting, a teenage girl at a high school, and this song, plays very, very faintly in the background. But it's in the album, in the album soundtrack, soundtrack album. And I love this little cutesy song. It is called Angel by PinkPantheress.
Johnny, my baby, tell me all the details for tomorrow. Johnny, my baby's hands, they grip my fingers when they're cold. He could be the one to make me never freeze again, because no one is as romantic as him. I want you to know. Everyone told me life was hard, but it's a piece of cake. Even if Johnny hasn't melted in a couple days. You won't check your phone, so you can't tell me you're okay. Because Johnny, my baby, did it always have to end this way? Cause one day my baby just ran away. The angel, you won't haunt me now that you're away. Was hard, but it's a piece of cake. Even if Johnny hasn't melted in a couple days. You would check your if I see you gone, tell me you're okay. Because Jenny, my baby, didn't always have to end this way. Cause one day my baby just ran away. My angel, you're what moves me now that you're
What's up, y'all? This is Jeremiah.
What's up? This is Steve-O from Jackass. You're listening to Radio DePaul.
Radio DePaul.
Radio DePaul is Chicago's college connection.
I dropped my phone on the tracks. I better go get it.
Stop. Stay off the tracks.
The rails of the CTA have 600 volts of electricity moving through them, which is the same amount as a full-grown South American electric. That danger doesn't even include the 30-ton train moving upwards to 55 miles per hour, heading towards you like a bull on a mission. The situation will feel like you got hit by both thunder and lightning. You can live without your cell phone for a few minutes, so don't risk it. Stay behind the blue platform edge and relax. This message was brought to you by Radio DePaul, Chicago's college connection.
Your bike does a lot for you. Now, the question is, what can we do for them? In September of 2022, 50 bikes were reported stolen. People often neglect their bike by using a cheaper lock or thinking an unlocked bike is safe for a couple of minutes. We're always asking how our bike is doing, but never how it's feeling.
Looks like we had an issue with the introduction track. How about we change that music too? Anyways, here are some helpful bike security tips to practice. First, always make sure to lock your bike, and when you're buying a lock, always try to buy the most expensive lock you are willing to afford. U-locks or chain locks are generally a good idea, but any lock is better than none. Second, when locking, always lock your front wheel with the frame of your bike, with a bike rack, pole, or anything that is firmly affixed. Once your bike is locked, always make sure to take all unsecured belongings with you. Lastly, always remember to lock it up even if you were gone for just a second. These bike security tips have been presented to you by Radio DePaul, Chicago's college connection.
Hi, this is Frank Turner.
This is Ian, Jamie, Kevin, Sean,
and Charles
from Stamping.
Yeehaw! I'm Kelly from Concord, and you're listening to Radio DePaul.
And you're listening to Radio DePaul.
You are listening to Radio DePaul, listening to a very sickly sounding Roxy on the Soundtrack Revisited. This week we're talking about the Barbie movie. Yay! Who loves Pink in here? I love Pink. Right before the break, we were listening to Angel by PinkPantheress, which is a little song that is on the soundtrack album and that plays in the film very faintly in the background. But I love that little song. Isn't it cute? And isn't it like odd, the little like the Irish jig motif in it? So strange. I love it. I think it adds so much to the song. Honestly, it's mostly why I like the song. I love the song like in and of itself, but I think the violins or the fiddles, whatever they are, just adds like a little bit of jolly whimsy and excitement that I love. I think it's time to talk about my thoughts on the Barbie movie. As someone who, loves Greta Gerwig, was a Barbie girl, was a Barbie kid. I had, my like 3 or 4 Barbies and my one Ken. I was really looking forward to this film. I was one of the defenders of it even before it came out. I was like, this is going to be great. I don't care that Barbies, are a product. It's going to be great because Greta Gerwig is directing and I would trust her with my life. Oh, I don't know the woman, but I love Lady Bird. I think it's an amazing film. I love Little Women. I think it's a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous adaptation of a of a book that's been adapted to death, and yet she was able to, make something fresh out of it. I love her in every role that she's played. She is a queen of film in my head, Mrs. Greta Gerwig. So I was very confident going into this, and I fear that I was too confident. I strolled up to the theater. I was wearing pink. I was surrounded by people wearing pink. I was like, life is good. It's summer 2023. I'm entering my last year of undergrad. I was going to start my last year of undergrad in September of the same year, so it was like the summer before my last year. And I was like, this is awesome. I love this feeling of community that I am sensing walking into the theater, with all these other people in pink. And in watching the movie, I hate to say that my first feeling was that of disappointment. I hear my heart breaking as I have to admit this, but I was disappointed because I think my expectations were too high. And I know why. I know where my mistake happened, and I know what I omitted to consider when having my excitement towards the Barbie movie. I omitted to consider the fact that this was a movie produced by Warner Brothers. This was a Warner Brothers movie. This was a blockbuster. This is a blockbuster. This is a movie that is a product. And that is something that goes beyond the artistic genius of whatever individuals were involved with the film. It is a Warner Brothers movie. And if you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. That needs to be heavily factored in when having expectations for a movie, especially in terms of messaging and tone, etc. So in considering that, I should have known better. I hate to say it. I don't want to be that kind of person. But yeah, I feel that the Barbie movie failed at being more than just a movie about Barbie Land in certain ways. So the reason I talk about it now, after we've played this song, Angel by PinkPantheress, is because I thought it was appropriate because, that song plays in a scene where, Barbie is confronting the real world. And to me, that was the part of the movie that fell flat. When Barbie is confronted with people who have such a different personality from her. And she's existing in a world that is so much darker and more cynical and neutral and depressing. I mean, I know that was the point, but the excitement I felt from Barbie Land and the joy that I felt and the meal that it was for my eyes to see all those beautiful sets in Barbie Land, to then be confronted with the real world, which was so boring. I know that was the point. I'm hearing myself say this, and I know that that's what they were trying to how they wanted it to come across. So I guess they succeeded. But even in terms of, I don't know if it's acting direction or script, but the way that Barbie interacts with real world people felt so just flat and strange, but not in a good way. I feel like Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling did a great job as Barbies and as Kens. All the Barbies and the Kens, they did a great job at, playing that role of over the top, naive, plasticky, existence. But when they try to mix up, the whole storyline with the America Ferrera character and her daughter, Ariana, played by Ariana Greenblatt, it just didn't work for me. I could go on and on and on, honestly. And I did in my Letterboxd review because, of course, I have Letterboxd. I'm a cliche film student. Yeah, so that fell flat for me. But, one of, to me, the most fun scenes that turns into one of the worst scenes of the film, but one of the most fun scenes is a scene where Barbie is running away from the Mattel executives who tried to put her in a box again. She's finally, she's out of Barbie land. She's in the real world, and she goes to Mattel because she's like, oh, you guys are going to be able to I'll know what to do when I go back to Mattel because you guys are the ones that created me. So, it'll be fine. And it's not. They want to trap her. They want to make her into a product because ultimately that's what she is to them. And that's what she is. She's Barbie. And she's like, wait, I don't want to be in a box. I want to leave. And so she runs through all the stairs and the cubicles and everything of the Mattel building. And while she's running, this fantastic song plays by the iconic Charli XCX. It is called Speed Drive.
She my best friend in the whole world. On the mood board, she's the inspo. And she dressed in really cute clothes. Kawaii like we're in Tokyo. Beverly smile, teeth the white robe. Got a classic real deep Van Gogh. She got loyalty, she says I love you girl, I love her more. Bobby, you're so fine, you blow my mind. Jump into the driving seat and put it in the speed drive. Riding through the streets on a different frequency. No, you know just what I mean, we're running through the red light. Bobby, you're so fine, you blow my mind. Jump into the driving seat and put it in the speed drive. Riding through the streets on a different frequency. No, you know just what I mean, we're running through the red lights. Red lights, yeah. Oh, got the top down, tires on fire. Who are you? I'm living my life. See you looking with that side eye. Why you so jealous? Cause I'm one of a kind. What you think about me, I don't care. I'm a classic real deep Voltaire. The girls you need to know, well, they already know they're over there. Bobby, you're so fine, you blow my mind. Jump into the driving seat and put it into speed drive. Riding through the streets on a different frequency. No, you know just what I mean, we're running through the red light. Bobby, you're so fine, you blow my mind. Jump into the driving seat and put it into speed drive. Riding through the streets on a different frequency. No, you know just what I mean, we're running through the red lights. Red lights, yeah.
That was Speed Drive by Charli XCX. Isn't that a good song? I love that song. Speed Drive from the soundtrack album for Barbie the movie, which we're talking about today. I love this scene when Barbie is, running for her life, soundtracked by Charli XCX. Like, who doesn't want that? If I ever have to run away from something, God forbid, I hope I don't, I want Charli XCX to be playing. She, that'll motivate me, and that, I think, will save me. But that scene, I believe, transitions into a car chase scene, but the car chase is basically a 15-minute long Chevy ad. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Like Chevrolet, like the car brand. And it just looks like an ad, and it's in that moment where you're like, oh, yeah, I'm watching a Warner Brothers movie. I don't want Warner Brothers against me, so I'm sorry to the bros, but this is very obviously an ad. And, it's fine. I know that we need product placement in movies. You see it all the time. There are ways to do product placement so it doesn't feel in your face, and this felt so in your face. It's like, I was looking up online to make sure, like, oh, like, what car is it for? Like, because I forgot. I've only seen the Barbie movie once. You know, I saw it in theaters. Excuse me. And I was, you know, looking it up to make sure that I hadn't, like, dreamt that and that I wasn't just, like, raging over nothing. But no, I looked it up. I was like, typing up Barbie car scene ad, and I found something on, of all places, of course, Reddit, on a forum called r/FUCK cars. So I was like, oh, so yeah, it is a car ad. People confirming, yeah, it's for Chevy. Jesus, I can't pronounce this. For a Chevrolet car. Apparently there are even shots of it that are like directly pulled from a pre-existing ad. Anyways, you know, it's Hollywood, guys. It's Hollywood, baby. It's showbiz. You got to have those sponsors. But as I said, there's a way to do it where it doesn't feel so in your face. And in Barbie, it really felt like, okay, you guys needed to do this and, you know, to fulfill your contract with Chevrolet. And it's just not working. It's like a car chase scene, classic. You know, why not? Why not have a car chase scene? It's a great way to, like, put in the car that you want to promote. But it was so long, and it was like, okay, we get it. Like, do we really need that many shots of the exterior of the car? Probably not. But anyways, that scene, you know, it starts with Speed Drive, so by Charli XCX. So sure, I'll take a Chevy ad if it's to listen to Charli XCX, I guess. Now I want to take a break from being a hater and talk about what another big thing that I loved about Barbie, and that I think is one of the main reasons that Barbie works and that Barbie resonated with a lot of people, namely a lot of women, people who grew up as girls, who grew up around Barbies, and who grew up feeling a certain type of way because they were brought up as girls, and people who are, you know, women today, female presenting today, and who deal with things that are specific to being that person. Barbie touches on something that I think also goes beyond, you know, being a woman, being female presenting, growing up as a girl, that is just, what does it mean to be human? And what does it mean to be human versus to be a Barbie? What's the difference? And what is it about being human that makes Barbie want to be human, although she can see kind of how much more difficult the real world is? She still has this pull to wanting to be human. And I think that's the part that I loved the most about Barbie, other than the sets and the music, is that it did touch on that in a way that felt strong and that felt important and real and special. There are a few scenes that illustrate this. The first one being this one scene when Barbie I believe she has just left this high school where she, like, confronted this girl about, like, being Barb. She's, like, trying to prove to people, no, like, I'm Barbie, like, you know me, I'm Barbie. Obviously no one believes her because the real world is filled with a bunch of cynical people, which is very documentary-like. She's really upset because no one believes her, and she feels alone, and she's like, what am I doing here? No one knows who I am. No one, you know, I have no purpose here. And she sits at a bus bench, and she's next to this older woman who, you know, has a very wrinkled face and is just sitting there. And Barbie gets emotional looking at her, and she's like, I forget what exactly she says, but I think she calls her beautiful. She's like, you're so beautiful. And the older woman just looks at her and is like, I know it. And Greta Gerwig apparently fought for that scene to stay in the film, because it's true that it doesn't, like, in terms of narrative, in terms of pacing, in terms of script, it's not teaching us, it's not like moving the story along in any specific way. It's not, you know, like, it could be considered an expendable scene. Like, we don't need that. But in terms of the heart of the film and in terms of what the film wants to talk about, it's essential. It's essential, and it is, to me, the first inkling of like, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about what it means to feel human and to feel like you belong and to feel like you're enough beyond what you look like and beyond what people view you as and beyond just like exterior factors that might pressure you into thinking that you do not belong, that you're not enough. And Barbie is confronted with that for the first time. She's like, oh, this woman who's like, you know, she's old and she doesn't look like me. She looks wrinkled and everything, but she finds beauty in that like humanity. And the older woman's like, yeah, I know I'm beautiful. And it's beautiful. I mean, it's a very touching scene. And to me, it's the one scene that works in terms of, oh, Barbie is confronted to the real world. And maybe it's because, you know, it's one of the rare positive interactions she has in the real world. So obviously it's the only one that I am like, oh, that's a good one. You know, I don't know. I'm not about to therapize myself, but I think that touches on the heart of the film. And I'm so glad that Greta Gerwig was able to fight to keep that scene. And the next scene in the real world that really embodies this whole philosophy and this whole, you know, essence of the Barbie movie to me is when Barbie meets Ruth Handler, who is the creator of Barbie, who is supposed to be like this ghost who lives in the Mattel building. And she meets with her, and then she meets with her again much later in the film. And they have this conversation about Barbie being like, well, I want to be human, but, you know, can you allow me to be human? And Ruth Handler is like, I can't, you know, that's not up to me, that's up to you. But she wants her to feel what it is to be human before she makes Barbie human, I guess. I think that's how I understood it. And she's like, okay, stand there and feel. And that scene, obviously I sobbed because it's a scene where the movie chooses to play all this archival footage of like home movies of all these girls and women. And it's supposed to be, you know, Barbie feeling what it is to be human and the human experience of being a person instead of an object and a Barbie. And the song that plays is What Was I Made For by Billie Eilish. And obviously I sobbed, so please enjoy this wonderful song.
I used to float, now I just fall down. I used to know, but I'm not sure now what I was made for. What was I made for? Taking a drive, I was an ideal, looked so alive. Turns out I'm not real, just something you paid for. What was I made for? Something I'm made for. Something I'm made for.
That was What Was I Made For by Billie Eilish. Man, I love that song so much. I was lucky enough to see it in concert live only a few months, not even like a month after the movie came out, because Billie Eilish came to Paris at a festival and she played it and it was magnificent. What Was I Made For, man? I think that song means so much to so many people, and I think it is truly the heart of the film. When it plays, over all that archival footage of, home movies of all these women and girls, and I don't know what it is about archival footage, and especially home movies, that just makes me so emotional. Maybe it's the passage of time. It's the beauty of existing. I don't know. I'm getting all emotional, but Billie Eilish will do that to you. I love you, Billie Eilish, so much. But yeah, I think that is the heart of Barbie. Beyond the Chevy ads and the Barbie dream house and all the kind of mess that is the real world, it's kind of beautiful to be human, and it's beautiful to be imperfect and to struggle, because it means that we're real and that we are not artificially generated. I'm not going to go on that rant, but to me that's what Barbie's about, and that's what makes me feel like it's still an important movie, and it's still worth it as a piece of art, despite it being, it's not the greatest movie ever, but it means a lot to a lot of people, and it was a cultural moment, and it was a societal moment for a lot of people who watched it, whatever that means. I'm not sure what I'm saying, guys. Between the sickness and the emotionality, that's not even a word. Between my sickness, it's just a cold, and the emotion of Billie Eilish and of talking about the heart of this Barbie movie, I'm going a little crazy. So we're just gonna go into the last song that I want to play for you, which technically doesn't play in the movie, but played, and it's not in the soundtrack album or anything, but it was in the first, or at least one of the first trailers for Barbie. And I was so sure that it was going to be in the movie, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love this song. Can't wait to hear it in the movie. And then it was never in the movie, but I love this song, and I want to finish on it because I think it talks about and touches on kind of a similar feeling in a different way, but a similar feeling of, damn, it's so hard, but it's so beautiful to just be yourself and to do your thing. And that is a song called Make Your Own Kind of Music by the wonderful, beautiful, gorgeous, and talented Cass Elliot. So enjoy this and make your own kind of music. And yeah, bye Barbie, bye Ken, bye everybody. I will see you next week.
Nobody can tell you there's only one song worth singing. They may try and sell you, 'cause it hangs them up to see someone like you. But you've gotta make your own kind of music, sing your own special song, make your own kind of music, even if nobody else sings along. to do your thing, the hardest thing to do. But you gotta make your own kind of music, sing your own special song, make your own kind of music, even if nobody else sings along. So if you cannot take my hand, and if you must be going, I will understand. You gotta make your own kind of music, sing your own special song, make your own kind of music, even if nobody else sings along. You gotta make your own kind of music, sing your own special song.
Hey.
What's up, y'all? This is Jeremiah.
What's up? This is Steve-O from Jackass. You're listening to Radio DePaul.
Radio DePaul.
Radio DePaul is Chicago's college connection.